Hi, my name is Aaliyah Jones, and I'm going to be reading two books to you today. I want to thank my friend Edie Campbell for inviting non-Asian people to read stories that affirm Asian culture and Asian people, especially with all the xenophobia and racism that's going on as a result of fear and ignorance around coronavirus. And also, it's Asia Pacific American Heritage Month. So, what better time to highlight these great stories? So let's begin. The two books I'm reading today, one affirms Pacific Islander culture, and the other one affirms South Asian culture. And the first one we're starting with is called Milky Way. And it is written by Mamta Naini and illustrated by Siddhartha Tripathi. And this book is out of a small press called Yali Books, located in upstate New York. And the books that they publish are all about celebrating South Asia. I encourage you to check them out. So here we go. Let's begin. Milky Way. Tashi loved the room in his house with the big window. I love the colors in this book. Every night after dinner, he would sit by the window and listen to the distant sounds of the gongs from the gompa, or gaze at the mountains covered in velvety darkness, or mimic the purring of a house cat that sat outside. Tashi uses the window as a way to connect with his community. Or call out jelly to village folk returning from Leh by the evening bus. But what Tashi enjoyed doing the most was staring into the deep blue night sky. When he looked up at the stars, he felt as if they were talking to him. Tashi was friends with all of the stars, but the roly-poly moon was his favorite. I love the tones on this page, the blue and the black and the white. He once told his grandmother, Momole, the moon looks at me and gives me a special smile, eyes closed and no teeth showing. You and your stories, Tashi, Momole had said, pinching his cheeks. Was Momole talking about the moon and his cheeks? One night, as the old wind-up clock chimed 8, Tashi went into the kitchen where his mother, Amale, was laying out dinner. He took his usual place on the floor next to Momole, as Amale served them bowls of steaming hot thukpa, topped with yak cheese. Tashi quickly polished off his dinner and headed straight for the room with the window, back to his usual place. He was busy talking to the stars when the big round moon glided in and sat upon a branch high up on a juniper tree. Jelly, Tashi greeted the moon. Why are you so late? Well, Tashi, remember how the sun comes in to wake me up every night? He heard the moon ask. Today, he met some clouds on his way home and started to play with them. When he finally got back, it was quite late, you know, Tashi heard the moon say. Sometimes when I'm playing with children in Stanzen, I forget to do my homework and Amale scolds me. Didn't the sun's Amale scold him? Tashi wanted to know. But the moon just smiled a special smile, eyes closed and no teeth showing. It's a pretty epic mustache on that sun. Every night Tashi would wait for the moon, and every night his friend would make his way up to the top of the juniper tree and sit there to chat with him. Watching the moon huff and puff his way up to the topmost branch one night, Tashi thought that the moon was looking thinner than usual. Or was he just imagining it? A few nights later, the moon looked half his size. Why have you become so thin? A worried Tashi asked the moon. The moon, in reply, just smiled a special smile, eyes closed and no teeth showing. As more nights passed, Tashi saw that the moon was becoming smaller and smaller. What is happening to my friend? He wondered as fear gripped his heart. So you can see that the moon is becoming thinner and thinner, and you can see Tashi's very worried face down there in the corner. So we're going to end it there because I encourage you to go out and find a copy of Milky Way so you can find out what happens to Tashi and his friend the moon. And what I like about this book is that it's very pretty. The art is very nice. Also, it celebrates Tibetan Buddhism, Himalayan cultures, and it's a really pretty family story. So yeah, check out Milky Way by Yali Books. So the next book we're going to talk about affirms Pacific Islander culture and heritage, and I'm going to show you the cover of the book. I'm going to share my screen briefly. Okay, so this is the cover of Hina. You can see the moon, the colors, and Hina is written by Gabriel Ahuli and illustrated by Jing Jing Song. And this is also from a very small publisher called Beach House Publishing. And Beach House is located out of Kaneohe, Oahu, Hawaii. Um, and all of their books seem to gear towards younger kids, also a lot of baby books and board books, and Hawaiian culture themed. And Hina is actually a book in a whole series called Hawaiian Legends for Little Ones, and it's a board book, which I think is pretty neat. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start reading Hina. On an island in the middle of the ocean, there lived a woman named Hina. Hina loved her beautiful island, but she was tired of the noise and crowds of people. She looked so distressed there. She preferred the quiet, like the quiet you find under the waves of the ocean or the quiet after a very hard rain. She was envious of the stars that seemed to hang in the silent sky. I love the texture and the colors on this page, those blues. Her body is a part of the water. She's one with the water, but she continues to look up towards the sky, towards the stars where she would like to be. Hina decided to find a new home, but where could she go? She looked up at the night sky. The moon looked so inviting with its clear, pale light shining all around her. But how was she to get all the way up to the moon? As she wondered, this misty rain began to fall. I love this page and the depth of the colors and the texture. Her round face, her wide nose, her full lips, and she just looks like she's loving being a part of this rain in this moment. A rainbow formed. Sorry about that. A rainbow formed in the glow of the moon. Hina took one step to the rainbow, then another. So she's climbing up that rainbow. You know, I think about it, and there's so many stories around the world that feature a woman, especially finding some way to go up to the sky rainbow, going onto the moon, becoming the moon, falling from the sky, becoming stars. It's just very interesting how that's such a almost culturally universal story in so many indigenous cultures around the world. So she climbed the rainbow all the way to the moon. The moon was quiet and calm, quieter than the ocean and calmer than the rainforest. She looks happy there in the corner. Hina loved her new home. She loved the way she could hear the silence and sit among the stars. And I love the colors, the blue and the white, and the little pops of red, yellow, and green. And once again, keep in mind that if you can get a physical copy of this book, it's a board book. So kids and babies can really dig into those colors and textures in these images. And so we're actually going to stop right there so that you can find a copy and figure out what happens to Hina as she becomes the goddess of the moon. So, what's interesting about the goddess Hina is, from what I understand, she is across many Pacific Islander cultures the goddess of the moon. But since this book is written by a Hawaiian author, she is Hina, the Hawaiian goddess of the moon. Did you pick up on the theme of my books? Yeah, you got it, the moon. The moon is really important to me. She's grandmother. She's beautiful. She does so much for us. There's so many great stories surrounding her and her beauty. So we got to hear a story about a literal goddess of Hawaiian goddess of the moon, Hina, and we got to hear a story about a young boy who, by the way, that story was set in Ladakh, India, who has a relationship with the moon, a friendship with the moon, that he cherishes. And speaking of cherish, I'm so glad that you all were able to join me today. I'm thankful to my friend Edie for inviting us to take some time to reflect and share some great stories and celebrate people of Asian and Pacific Islander heritage, and just show the love for them and for these books. So keep reading. Please be safe and take good care of yourself.